Howdy.
What do you want?
I just got through with my business up here at the house. I thought I'd pay you a call. You got a gun, I see.
Good. Colt 45.
What do you do with it?
Shoot things.
Say, that there pink picture, that's a naked woman, ain't it?
Your eyes don't lie to you.
Plumb stark naked as a jaybird. No, she ain't quiet. She got a couple of thingamabobs tied up.
Shucks. That's nothing compared to what I got right here. Look at that top.
I'll go blind. Give me eyes, that would.
That's a dingo, that is.
Yeah, that sure is a digger. That's a good looking rope you got there. You know Will Parker, he sure can't spin a rope. Strong hook you got up there. You know you can hang yourself on that, Jenna.
I can what?
Hang yourself. Be as easy as falling off a log. Fact is, you could use a log or a chair if you'd rather. Tie that up there good, and all you have to do is step off the log or the chair, whichever you have to step off of.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, then folks would come to your funeral and they'd sing sad songs.
Yeah.
They would. You never know how many people like you till you're dead. You'd probably be all laid out in the parlor in your best suit, with your hair all slicked back and a high starched collar.
Would there be any flowers, do you think?
Oh, sure would. Arms all around your coffin. And then people gather around you, and the men would bare their heads, and the women would sniffle softly. Some of them might even faint. Ones that took a shine to you when you was alive.
What woman ever took a shot at me?
Oh, lots of women. Only they don't ever come out and tell you how they feel unless you die first.
I guess that's so.
They sure would sing loud, though, when that singing started. Sing like their hearts would break. Poor Judd is dead, poor Judd Fly is dead. All gather round his coffin now and cry. He had a heart of gold, and he wasn't very old. Oh, why did such a feller have to die? Poor Judd is dead, poor Judd Fly is dead. He's looking oh so peaceful and serene. And serene. He's laid out there to rest, with his hands across his chest. His fingernails have never looked so clean. Then the preachers say, folks, we are gathered here to mourn and groan over our brother Judd Fry, who hung himself up by a rope in the smokehouse. Then they'd be weeping and wailing from some of them women. And then you say, Judd was the most misunderstood man in the territory. People used to think he was a mean, ugly fella, and they called him a dirty skunk and an ornery pig stealer. But the folks that really knowed him know that underneath them two dirty shirts that he always wore, there beat a heart as big as all outdoors.
As big as all outdoors.
Judd Fry loved his fellow man.
He loved his fellow man.
He loved the birds of the forest and the beasts of the field. He loved the mice and the vermin in the barn, and he treated the rats like equals, which was right. And he loved little children. He loved everybody and every little thing. Only he never let on, so nobody ever knew it. Poor Judd is dead, poor Judd Fry is dead. All gather round his coffin now and cry. In the dell will give out a different smell, because poor Judd is underneath the ground. Poor Judd is dead, a candle lights his head. He's laying in a coffin made of wood. And folks are feeling sad, 'cause they used to treat him bad. But now they know their friend has gone for good. Good. Poor Judd is dead, a candle lights his head. We gather round his coffin now The way it be. Sure would be an interesting funeral. I wouldn't like to miss him.
Wouldn't like to miss things. Maybe you will. Maybe you'll go first.
Maybe. Let's see now. Where'd you work at before you come up here? Up by Quapaw, wasn't it?
Yes. Before that, over by Tulsa. Lousy it was to both of them. Always making out that they was better. Treat me like dirt.
What'd you do? Get even?
Who said anything about getting even?
No one I recollect. It's just something that come up into my head.
If it ever come to getting even, I'd know how to do it.
With that?
Nah. There's safer ways to use your brains. Remember that fire on the Bartlett farm over by Sweetwater?
Yeah, about 5 years ago. Terrible accident. Burnt up the father and the mother and the daughter.
That wasn't no accident. The fella told me that the hired hand was stuck on the Bartlett girl, and he caught her in the hayloft with another fella.
It was him that burned the place?
Took him weeks to get all the kerosene, buying it at different times. Fella who told me made it out like it happened in Missouri, but I knew all the time it was the Bartlett farm. What a lie he was.
Yeah, and kind of a murderer too, wasn't he? Let's get a little air in here.
You ain't told me yet what business you had here. We got no cattle to sell, no cow ponies, and the oat processing spoke.
You sure relieve my mind considerable.
There's only one other thing on this farm you can want, and it better not be that.
That's just what it is.
It better not be. You keep away from her, you hear?
You know, somebody ought to tell Laurie what kind of a man you are. For that matter, somebody ought to tell you once about it yourself.
You better get out of here, Curly.
Nah, a fella wouldn't feel very safe in here with you, if he didn't know you. But I know you, Judd. And in this country, there's two things you can do if you're a man. Live out of doors is one, live in a hole's another. I've sat with my horse by the brush somewheres and heard a rattlesnake many a time. Rattle, 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 he goes, scared to death. Somebody coming close to his hole. Somebody gonna step on him. Get his old fangs ready and full of poison and curl up and wait. Yeah, as long as you live in a hole, you're scared. You gotta have protection. Oh, you can have muscles like iron and still be as weak as an empty bladder unless you got something to barb your hide with. How'd you get to be the way you are anyway, sitting up here in this filthy hole and thinking the way you're thinking? Why don't you do something healthy once in a while, staying set up in here crawling in a fester? Yeah, you ought to feel better now. Kind of hard on the roof, though. Wish you'd let me show you something. There's a knot hole over there about as big as an eye. You see it a-winking? Just want to see if I can hit it. Bullet. Right through the knot hole without touching. Slick as a whistle. I know I can do it. You seen it too, didn't you? I expect somebody's coming.
Who fired off the gun? Was that you, Curly?
I shot once.
What was you shooting at?
See that knot hole over there?
I see lots of knot holes.
Well, it was one of them.
Well, ain't you a pair of purty nothings picking away at knot holes and scaring everybody to death? Ought to give you a good Dutch rubbing on some of the craziness out of you. It's all right, everybody. Nobody hurt. Just a couple of fools swapping noises.
I think I'll visit with you gents for a while. It's good for us to get away from the women.